a new strain of virus has brought the world to its knees.
The virus. They're working hard. Looks like by April, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true.
Some countries are managing to protect the public. Others are failing.
We're at war.
This is serious. Take it seriously.
In a race against this deadly disease, political systems compete to prove their superiority.
Wuhan will win. Hubei will win. China will win.
The majority of American public students are now well into a virtual school year, and data from around the country is starting to show that middle and high school students are falling behind. This week, Fairfax County Public Schools in Virginia, one of the biggest districts in the country, reported an 83% jump in middle and high schoolers earning Fs this year compared to last year. In the independent school district in Houston, more than 40% of middle and high school students are failing at least 2 of their classes. And in St. Paul, Minnesota, the superintendent reports nearly 40% of public high school students have failing marks, double the normal number. Joining us now to discuss that, the superintendent of St. Paul Public Schools, Joe Gothard, and Dr. Hannah Schachter, psychology professor at Wayne State University and an expert on adolescent development. Thank you both for being here. This is such an important topic for so many. Joe, start us off if you can. What's been the biggest surprise for you when it comes to the challenges of virtual learning?
I think most of the challenges have been, we are a district of 36,000 students. All of them have an iPad at home. They're able to connect, and we have great support and technology for those who struggle to or who can't quite get onto the internet. But I think our greatest challenge is just students accessing learning. And, we can do everything digitally as possible in making sure that assignments are uploaded into our learning management system. But we have many school-dependent learners, and that means that students who need a little bit extra support, students who need to raise a hand and have someone there to attend to them, and students who are losing motivation on having that structure and that system to support their learning.
And Joe, how do you do that? Because in a normal school year, students will inevitably differ in the level of support they get from their parents and other resources, but at least while they're in the school building, they're presumably getting the same education. So what do you do now that they're home the whole time?
So I think some of the things we learned from spring, now we've been on distance learning for quite some time. So I think our teachers, our staff have become far more adept at developing rooms and support centers that students can come to in a virtual setting to get some of their support. Far better at using the technology to have breakout groups or small group learning. And I think those are some of the advancements, but there's still nothing that can take place for that physical in-person interaction that our students are really yearning for right now.
COVID-19 changed the life of every individual's youth, nation, economy, infrastructures, and even brought unprecedented challenges amongst school and students. Aside from knowing that the businesses, properties, and the livelihood of every people have been struggling because of the pandemic. So as students, learning infrastructures and students are also having difficulties in coping up the new living arrangement, from face-to-face learning until such thing happened. And now all students are entering the virtual class online. Having an online class as a new learning modality today, a lot of challenges have come up, including the lack of resources necessary to online class, the slow internet connection, the pressure and the difficulty of coping up, the lack of motivation, and the struggling and stress in complying all activities and tasks. Those I mentioned are just a few examples of challenges students face in times of pandemic, but I'm sure that there's a lot more.
I know that every one of us are struggling and scared, thinking of what kind of future giving our best, keeping to be updated and hardworking, expressing ourselves, giving justice to our voice, and supporting each other. I know we can all have a better life and a better future, far from stress, circumstances, loneliness, negativeness, and most importantly, far from being coward and a loser. COVID-19 pandemic may be a threat and hindrance for most of us to success, but still, it brings out the biggest lesson for each one of us, and that biggest lesson maybe is to be a fighter that teaches us never to give up despite of all those difficult things and challenges in life. This just reminds us that as long as we fight and all the best we can be more stronger and undefeated.
Being weak sometimes doesn't mean that we are a coward or a loser, but instead, it just makes us the better version of ourselves, and that we should always remember that in times of these big challenges, we should stand still, be fearless, and not ever lose hope. I'm not telling this will be easy, but it will be worth it. So let's all have one dream together, and that is to hope and to hope that someday we can all go back to the things we are doing before. Meet together, laugh together, learn together, and dream together normally and physically, where distance are no longer a barrier, and cell phones or laptops are not the one we are holding to anymore, but instead a piece of paper, notebook, and diploma in which we can be proud of. I can do this, you can do this, and we can all do this together.